Now for another belt review, we have the Prizma A30, and this is going to be a competitor for the Trizact belts. This one comes at $4.25 from Supergrit, and this belt is a little over $6. These two belts are very similar to each other. Underneath the microscope, the abrasives look like tiny little pyramids. And both are 600 grit. I also have 1200 grit in both. And we're going to test them out and see if these cheaper Prizma belts can compete with the Trizact belts. And here's a comparison of the Prizma A16, which is 1200 grit, and along with the Trizact A16 1200 grit. First, I'm going to sharpen this knife using the 120 grit Deer Bora belt. This is going to remove all the damage and apex the knife. With the contrast of the purple belt, you can see the burr formed, so I know I've apexed this knife. Now I'm going to swap out this 600 grit Zilarian belt with this 600 grit Prizma belt. And you can see the contrast in abrasives used. The Prizma uses tiny little pyramid shape as the abrasives, and the Zilarian uses bumps, which helps reduce the heat buildup in the knife sharpening. It feels that the Prizma belt is more aggressive than the Zilarian, which makes sense because the abrasives are closer together on the Prizma than the Zilarian belt. One thing that I'm not liking right now is that there's a lot of wobble side to side with this belt, which will not leave the most consistent scratch pattern or uniformity when I'm sharpening knives. This clip is just showing how stable the Zilarian belt is without any side to side wobble. The final step at making a razor sharp knife is removing the burr, so I'm using my leather wheel with a white compound to do just that. So testing again with the Prizma belts compared to the Zilarian belts and the Trizact belts, these had a lot more wobble than the Zilarian and Trizact belts. That could be just this belt. I don't know the quality assurance, but for $4.25-ish, it's not a bad belt to actually try. Out of all three belts, I still recommend the Trizact as a premium, high-quality finishing belt. The Trizact belts just perform better in my opinion. I think they last longer, and they just put a slightly better edge on it, but you're paying for a premium price. These two belts are very good alternatives if you don't want to spend the extra money. And between these two, just for the sheer wobble, I would have to go with the Zilarian belts. I just feel the quality is slightly better. I haven't done enough to really see the longevity of each belt, but I put each belt through about 50 knives, and they're both holding up pretty well, and that's probably when I usually change out belts. What I do like about the Zilarian belts over the Prizma is that the little extra bumps help prevent the knife from heating up as fast, but both are the same price. Maybe this was just a defective belt with the extra wobble, but it was still very smooth sliding across my angle guide and my belt to sharpen a knife. And just to see how well it performs, it still makes a very sharp edge. So I don't think you can go wrong with either belt, but if I had my own preference, Trizact is number 1, Zilarian is number 2, and then the Prizma is number 3. But that's my own personal preference. Again, if you want to try these belts out, they're at supergrit.com, and you can use Vinny25 for 10% off your knives. It does help out, especially when you buy them in bulk. All right, so that's my review of the Prizma belt. It's a pretty short video. Just want to give you my honest opinion of it. It works well as an alternative to Trizact belts, and that's what these two belts are trying to promote. Alternatives for a cheaper price, and you just saw it cuts very well. It just isn't as smooth as the Zilarian or the Trizact. All right, guys, I'm Vinny, the Knife Guy. Have a great day.